All right, we have one box of 2022 Mosaic football. The 116 bounty is up to 7,000. Nope, not 7,000. 6104. I don't think David Carter's good, but I do think Derek is good. The 116 bounty is up to 6104. Kent has the Niners, Dane has the Bears, Chris is the Bengals, James is the Bills, Thomas is the Broncos, Josh is the Browns, Wendy is the Bucks, Jason is the Cardinals, Matt is the Chargers, Jerry is the Chiefs, Paul is the Colts, KB is the Commanders, Ken is the Cowboys, Matt is the Finns, Scott is the Eagles, Jimmy is the Falcons, Jeff is the Giants, Eipert is the Jags, Mike is the Jets, Jimmy is the Lions, Phil is the Packers, KP is the Panthers, Jason is the Pats, Mondo is the Raiders, Johnny is the Rams, Bill is the Ravens, Ryan is the Saints, Rick is the Seahawks, Creighton is the Steelers, Mike is the Texans, Leviticus is the Titans, and Ryan has the Vikings. This year they probably gave him his most weapons. But again, his defense was still awful. One player doesn't make a defense. Max Crosby's good, but one player doesn't make a defense. And his coach is awful. Josh McDaniels is awful. They should have won. The Jaguars game, was it the Jaguars game or the Cardinals game it was? They were up by like 2 scores. Granted, yes, the offense stopped putting points on the board, but how much, I don't know. Josh McDaniels is an awful coach. Before this year, he's never had much help. Hunter Renfrow was his number 1 guy last year. Hunter Renfrow is talented, but as a number 1, I don't know. Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, I guess. Josh Jacobs really sucked until this year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I think he's very close. I think he's borderline being a career backup. But I would at least like to see him in a different position with talent around him and a good coach before I say hey, this guy's not a starter in this league, because he has talent. He's shown it before. The 2016 season, like I said, he was having an MVP season and he broke his leg. And then after that, the Raiders were just kind of bad. They never really had the talent. Kenneth Walker, rookie. Duvernay. Kenny Pickett. That's going to the Steelers and Creighton. So, yeah, before I make that, final, hey, you're not going to be a starter in this league, I at least want to see him, with talent around him and a good coach. Because I don't think he's ever had both at the same time. I really don't ever think he's had a good coach. He has that talent around him, but, again, without a good coach, we have Tyler Beatty. There's only a few people that can make that work. Tampa, possibly, but I don't think Todd Bowles is a good coach. Honestly, I don't know what Bruce Arians was thinking. I think they have the talent there. I think they have more talent in Tampa than Oakland. Let's go on to the Ravens. And Bill, I'd like to see Tampa go in on a running back. Because they just can't run the ball. That's what hurt them this season. Brady's not, he's not elite anymore, I'd argue, at this point in his career, but he's still a good quarterback, I think. But, any team, you can't throw the ball 57 times and expect to win. It just doesn't happen. Then we have Hassan Haskins, red mosaic. Let's go on to the Titans and Leviticus. If you can't run the ball in this league, you're not going to be successful. You have to be able to run the ball, and that's something that they just can't do. Jameson Williams, and we have a Jim Kelly center stage. Let's go on to the Bills and James. But yeah, I don't think Todd Bowles is a good coach, man. He was awful with the Jets, awful this year with the Bucks, and they tried to scapegoat Byron Leftwich, which he's probably part of the problem, but I don't think he's all the problem. I think Tampa's going to come out. They're going to try and bring in a new quarterback next year, and it's going to be the same story. Evan Neal, Jalen Tolbert. We have a D-Hop. Let's go on to the Cardinals and Jason. Cordero Patterson. Let's go on to the Falcons and Jimmy. I think at least right now, the most realistic landing spot for Carr that I see is Indianapolis. Derek Carr. And Joe Burrow, Metamaster, which I actually think would be kind of a good fit. Let's go on to the Bengals and Chris. Because Indianapolis does have talent on both sides of the ball. They were a quarterback away this year. And I mean, well, not just a quarterback away. Matt Ryan played really bad. And so did Sam Ellinger. And I don't even know who else they brought in at the end. Yeah, Matt Ryan's done, bro. Just hang it up. Sauce Gardner, good career, but, I mean, it's over. Just completely washed. Michael Carter, that's gone to the Jets. And Mike. Right, and they're getting a new coach, so it's like, I can't say for certain that it's going to be a good coach, but if they make the right hire, it could certainly be a good fit for Carr. Jerry Jeudy, that's gone to the Broncos, and Thomas. Say they hire a guy like Sean Payton, Mac Jones, and Micah Parsons. If they bring him in, plus the team that they have already, you could be looking at a really good team next year. Drake London, Len Dawson, Brian Cook, Keontae Ingram. We have a Christian Watson, NFL debut. Let's go on to the Packers and Phil. We have a Clinton Portis refractor that's gone to the Commanders, and KP. James Cook, blue chips, and Swagger, Deebo Samuel. That's gone to the Niners, and Kent. Chris Olave, Jordan Davis. We have an autograph. A blue auto. That is 82 out of 99. How about Tyler Beatty? That's gone to the Ravens. And Bill. We have Nick Bonito. That's gone to the Broncos. And Thomas. A.J. Brown, that's gone to the Eagles, and Scott. Meta Mastery, Derrick Henry, and Drake London introductions. Superbook Reporter. Kenny Pickett, rookie, that's gone to the Steelers, and Creighton. Christian Watson, rookie, and Tyler Algier, rookie. We have a Trey Hendrickson, Mosaic, that's gone to the Bengals, and Chris. We have a DeForest Buckner, refractor, that's gone to the Colts, and Paul. Dak Prescott, and Swagger, Najee Harris, Mosaic, that's gone to the Steelers, and Creighton. James Cook, Brock Purdy, rookie, that's gone to the Niners, and Kent. We have an Eddie George that's gone to the Titans, and Leviticus. We have a Kenneth Walker, red Mosaic, that's gone to the Seahawks, and Rick. I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think Brock can beat Philly himself, but I think it could go either way, man. It really just matters who shows up, because Philly runs the ball very well, but San Francisco defends the run very well. Philly hasn't shown, I don't think, at least I can't recall anything off the top of my head, that they can beat a good team when they take the run away. So just through the air. They've shown that they can beat good teams running the ball, right? We know that. They run the ball very well. But can they beat San Francisco through the air? And at the same time, San Francisco also runs the ball very well. But Philly, I think they might have tightened up through the last half of the season. But Philly, for a while there, a long time, I think it was from like week 6 to week 12 at least. I'm not sure about the rest of the season. Struggled mightily against the run. I know they did shut some big names down. They're going to bring it up. They shut down Justin Fields and Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's an attempt merchant, and once Tennessee gets down by 2 scores, they're not going to run the ball with him. I think Derrick Henry's kind of washed, kind of like Zeke, just not as washed as Zeke. They have shut down some big name running backs, but they did struggle against the run for a while. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be a tight matchup. I think the Eagles fans are expecting it to be a blowout because like Brock Purdy. I'll tell you, I also expected it to be a blowout, and it wasn't. San Francisco's defense is very good. Justin Herbert, Stairmasters, Malik Willis introductions, Refractor. Let's go on to the Titans and Leviticus. I also think it matters like how well Brock's O-line holds up, because if you watch the Dallas game, you could see that he was kind of getting rattled by the pass rush. Dallas just couldn't. Just from what I counted, I can't talk. Just from what I counted, there were 3 dropped interceptions by the Cowboys, just all completely dropped, which would have changed the game a lot. So if Philly can capitalize on those plays and make those interceptions, then it could be a blowout. Who knows? We have a Drake London autograph, the red Mosaic autograph. Let's go on to the Falcons and Jimmy. Then we have a Corey Davis Mosaic. That's going to the Jets and Mike. And we have an Andrew Booth. That's going to the Vikings and Ryan. Yeah, that's another thing, Creighton. Look, the Eagles fans will go on and on and on about their defense, and their defense is very good. Their team in general they have a good team. Howie went out and built a Super Bowl team. That's their goal. If they don't win the Super Bowl this year, if they don't even make it to the Super Bowl this year, it's a disappointment. Like it should be. If it's not a disappointment in your eyes, then there's something. You kind of have to take a step back and reevaluate what you're thinking, because Howie Roseman specifically went out. He got A.J. Brown. He got C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I think they got Hassan Reddick this year. They got so many. James Bradbury. They got so many pieces. To specifically go out and win the Super Bowl. He built a super team, realistically. I don't want to say a super team because it's not like LeBron stuff or whatever, but he built a very good team. A Super Bowl caliber roster. That's what the Eagles are. But at the same time, Darius Slay has kind of been like, I don't know. He's been getting like toasted a lot. I don't know if it's fatigue. I don't know. Slay's what? He's been in the league for a couple years, 2013, I think. 2014, somewhere around there. I don't know if it's fatigue. I don't know what it is, man, but he is like, the Giants didn't do anything to him because the Giants' number 1 receiver is Isaiah Hodgins, dude. Like, I don't think he could burn a 3rd-string corner. Eric Ezukanma. Let's go on to the Dolphins and Matt. But Slay's play has been kind of questionable as of late, kind of shaky. So, but yeah, what is Ayuk going to do? Because Debo mostly lines up in the slot. We have 41 out of 99. But Ayuk has wheels, man. He can run. He's fast. Allen Robinson, that's going to the Rams, and Johnny. Nah, I want the Bengals. I mean, of course you want the Travis in the bowl, man, because you're a Chiefs fan. I want Joe Burrow, man, so bad. Josh Allen with Peyton Manning, center stage. That's going to the Colts, and Paul. I particularly, yeah. I kind of want the opposite. Bengals, Niners, Super Bowl reporter. Kyle Hamilton, Chris Jones, Tyler Beatty, Drake London. We have a Darius Leonard Mosaic that's gone to the Colts. I have to grab more sleeves, so I'm just going to set these off to the side for now. That's going to the Colts and Paul. We have a Marvin Jones Jr. Refractor going to the Jags and Jonathan. Malik Willis Blue Chips and a Russell Wilson Stairmasters Mosaic. That's going to the Broncos and Thomas. Congrats on that, guys. That was our one box of 2022 Mosaic football.